Good afternoon. First, let me introduce who I am. I am Wang Dehong from International Business School, Beijing Foreign Studies University, or we call BFSU. I am a professor there. I have a PhD of management from Renmin University, China, and also a master degree of business administration from State University of New York at Buffalo.
The topic today is what matters most in business learning. Please remember, we'll talk about the measures of learning business. What matters most in business learning? The first answer I want to tell you is case study. Case study matters the most in business learning. We'll show a couple of cases in this forum today. As for the core features of business learning, I summarize into 3 key features. First, I use the keyword boring. Well, some people guess it is. Why? Because there are really lots of hard theories to learn in business. And these theories are hard to understand, hard to remember, and hard to use. So that's why some people think boring. The second keyword I like to say is interesting. Well, many other people think so. Why? Because in business learnings there are lots of case studies. They are real studies, and they are interesting studies. They are real cases, and they are interesting cases. The third keyword I like to say is exciting. Well, I believe most people agree. Why? Because business learners have chance to practice. How? Practice by ourselves. Practice by yourselves. What? We practice recent real cases. That's why we call exciting. The second answer in what matters most in business learning is, I like to say, we need an efficient learning way. An efficient learning way must be simple, must be comprehensive, and must be efficient. The business learning way I suggest here is we use a learning cycle. There are 3 steps in the learning cycle here. The first step, we learn knowledge points. Second step, we understand the knowledge points by learning case studies. Very important. Case study is one of the learning cycle. And the third step, very important, practice. Practice makes us further understand what we have just learned in the knowledge points. After 3 steps, I believe the knowledge point here will have a good memory and good understanding in our great brain. Next, I'll use examples. These examples about how to learn stock prices. Here, stock prices is a knowledge point. This knowledge point, we will split it into 3 basic knowledge points. The first one is types of stock prices. And the second one is expression of stock prices. The third one, analysis of stock prices. After learning the 3 knowledge points, we will do a knowledge extension. Knowledge extension on knowledge point 3. We will have a further understanding, a deeper understanding about knowledge point 3. Next, let's look at knowledge point 1, types of stock prices. Knowledge point 1 focus on the type of stock prices. First step, we learn the knowledge points. Regarding the knowledge points of types of stock prices, we have actually 4 basic types of stock prices. The first one is called open price. Open price is the listing price of a stock in a new trading day. Here, it's a listing price, not a deal price. No, it's a listing price. A listing price is a reference for a deal price. It shows the expectation of the stock price in this trading day. Close price. Close price traditionally is the price of last deal of a specific stock in a trading day. But nowadays, there are more complicated algorithms to calculate close price. You will learn that in security investment course in your college time. Usually, open price and close price are a pair, used to compare the upward and downward of stock price movement in a trading day. Then we have high price and low price. High price and low price refers to the highest or the lowest price of a specific stock in a trading day. Highest or lowest price. By these two prices, we can have a spread. The spread equals to high price minus low price. What is the meaning of the spread? The spread represents for the degree or levels of stock price fluctuation in a trading day. The degrees or levels of stock price fluctuations in a trading day. For example, if the stock price in a trading day is this way, this is the level of fluctuations. However, if we have a stock price fluctuate like this in a trading day, we will say the spread is bigger of this stock than that of this one. Okay, we have learned knowledge point 1. It's pretty easy, right? Next, in order to understand the knowledge points, we need to learn a case study. Here we will use Apple stock as example. We use Apple stock price on August 18. Of course, we can change the date to today. We will practice a while later. On this trading day, the open price and close price of Apple stock is 173.75 and 174.15. We find that the spread is 0.3 up. This is a very important signal to stock investors in market. This represents the stock price in this day is going upward. Wow, this is a very good news for Apple stock investors, right? Going upward means they are earning money this day. Please remember this. This is a very, very important concept you will learn about stock price. And then we have the high price and low price. They are 174.9 and 173.12. The high-low spread here is $1.78. This measurement is meaningless if we just look at this one. It is meaningful when we compare with the spread of other trading days. So, the meaningfulness is for comparison. It represents, I repeat, stock price fluctuations. The levels of stock price fluctuations in a specific trading day. Either this way or this way. They are different. Of course, this way usually means riskier. And this way usually means less risky. Now, we have finished the first two steps, knowledge points and case study. The third step, we need to practice by ourselves. Okay, in order to practice, we still use Apple stock. But this time, we change to another date, September the 2nd. Now, let's find out these stock prices. And you calculate the spread and tell me. In order to do case practice, we need a tool to do case practice. Here, I employ The most popular tool in the world now, it is called Python. Some of you may have heard about Python. Python is easy to learn computer programming language. For us, it is just a tool for us to analyze case studies. Usually, in the forum today, for every case study, we usually need only one Python command. I'll key in the command and explain the command. Now let's look at the Python command. This command used to enable the function of Python plugin to analyze stock price. This one we set the command display and print out in English. In order to get Apple stock prices on September the 2nd, we key in the command. First, Apple equals to get price. Then we key in Apple stock code. Apple stock code is AAPL. This is Apple stock code. Then key in the starting date, 2022, September the 2nd. Then we key in the end date, 2022, September the 2nd. Okay, we key in the start date and the end date at the same day because we are only interested in the Apple stock price on this day. We are not interested in the other days. So we key in the same date for the start and end date. In order to execute this Python command, we need to press the Shift key plus the Enter key together. Now let's look at the results. Okay. This is called a variable. A variable means it contains the return data from this Python command. Let me say a few words about this Python command. This is called the Python command, get price. And these are called the parameters of the Python command. Let me introduce. This is called a Python command. These are called the parameters. Of course, this is the first parameter. It is stock code. Every stock, there is a code. You know the stock code for Apple, it is AAPL. Do you know the stock code for Microsoft? Okay, Microsoft is the company who make Windows and Microsoft Office. We have Word, we have PowerPoint, and we have Excel. They are all the products of Microsoft. The stock code for Microsoft is called MSFT. You know the stock code for Guizhou Maotai? Yes. The stock code for Guizhou Maotai is 600519.ss. 600519.ss. And these two parameters are the start date and the end date. And these are the message. Now, let's look at results. Okay, we have the results for Apple stock price on September the 2nd. This is the open price and this is the close price. We find that the open price is 159.75 and the close price is 155.81. What do you find? We find that close price is lower than open price. That means what? Means in this trading day, September the 2nd, Apple stock price is going down. Downward. This is a very important concept for any stock investors. This is a very strong signal that we understand Apple stock price is going down. Okay? And this is high and low price. we find that the high-low price spread, here we have the spread, equals to 160.362 minus 154.81, roughly equals to, okay, $5 something. It is bigger than the previous one, 1 point something. That means the level of stock price fluctuations for Apple in September the 2nd is much higher than that in the previous day. So we have quickly find out a couple of very simple but very useful conclusions by practicing by ourselves. Now, we have finished the 3 steps of the first knowledge points. Let me repeat. What is the first knowledge points? Yes, the types of stock price. What are the 3 steps? Knowledge points, case study, and case practice. Now let's begin to learn knowledge point 2. Knowledge point 2 focuses on the expression of stock prices. Similarly, we will use the learning cycle. First, knowledge points, followed by case study, then case practice. Let's look at the first step, knowledge points. The knowledge point here is the expression of stock prices. We are usually using 2 very simple, very comprehensive way to express the stock prices. The first one, we use positive bar when close price is bigger than open price. That means stock price is going up. Of course, we have another opposite situation, which is the negative bar. While close price is smaller than open price, that means the stock price is going down in this day. This is the knowledge points. What is the next step? Case study. If you have an idea, welcome to type in your answer in the chat window of Tangxun meeting. Case study. We still use Apple stock as example. This time we use Apple stock in 2 days, August 18 to 19. We use these 2 days 4 type of stock prices. Let's see how to express the 4 type of stock prices together in one single figure. Now, for this one, we say it is a positive bar. Why we say that? Because let's look at this one first. This is called legend. In this legend, we have open price and we have high price, we have low price and close price. The close price is expressed in solid blue line. Solid blue lines here. In this bar, the solid blue lines, the close price is here. And in this bar, the close price is here. Then let's look at open price. Open price is green dot line. Okay, this is green dot line. This is green dot lines. Now we find out in this bar, the close price is higher than the open price. That's why we say it is a positive bar. A positive bar represents for a upward stock price movement. Very important. Upward stock price movement. Upward. Every stock investors want to see the curve going upward, right? However, in this bar, we find that the close price is here, which is lower than the open price. So it is a negative bar. A negative bar, well, it means the stock price is going downward. Downward. I believe most of the stock price investors do not want to see the curve downward, right? It is simple, right? Yes. Okay, here means the high price, and here means the low price. High price, low price. And we find that the high-low spread in August 18 is bigger than that of August 18. Sorry, this is August 19. This is August 18. The high-low spread on August 19 is higher than that of August 18. Okay, we have learned the knowledge points and case study of knowledge point 2. What's the third step? Please type in your answer in the chat window of Tangxun meeting. Yes, it is the case practice. This time, we want to change to another stock. Previously, we used Apple stock, but now we want to use Jingdong stock. We still use August 18 to 19, these 2 days. In order to do this case practice, we still need to borrow the popular tool Python. We just need one Python command to complete this case practice. Let's look at the case practice. This time, we will use a different Python command. Jingdong. Okay. Candles. Demo. Here, candlestick demo is a Python command. We know that the positive bar and negative bar, we combine them together. In China, we call them the K-line. K-line. But in many Western countries, we call them candlestick chart. K-line. In China. In many other countries, we call them candlestick chart. We call this K-line chart as well. So later, if you in college time you read in your textbook about candlestick chart, you will be quickly aware that it is the same meaning with the Chinese word K-lines. Okay? While in Western world, people very few to call them K-lines, they call them candlestick chart. This is a variable, again, to store the data returned by this Python command. And this Python command, in order to make it work orderly, we have to tell the command many parameters. The first parameter is each stock we want to analyze. Jingdong. Stock code of Jingdong in US, it is called 接地. And then we need to call the date. 2022. This time, probably we use a different date, such as September 1st, 2022, September 2nd. In order to execute this Python command, we press the Shift key plus the Enter key. Okay, we have a graph here. Let's look at this graph. Now, if you know the answer of the trend upward or downward of these 2 bars, please type in your answer in the chat window of Tangxun meeting. First one, what kind of bar is this? Is this a positive bar or a negative bar? Type in your answers in the chat window of Tangxun meeting. Well, this one is a positive bar or a negative bar. I need your answers, right? In order to find that, let's look at the lines. Solid blue lines for close price. We have solid close price here. We have close price here. And we have open price by green dot lines. Open price. Open price. So, this one is a positive bar because the close price is higher than the open price. For this one, we have close price here. It is lower than the open price, so it is not a positive bar. This is a negative bar, right? Is that easy? Yes, it is. In this way, you can simply change the parameters and see many other stocks' performance. For example, let's do a quick extension on that. For example, we want to see the situation of Alibaba. Alibaba stock code in US is called BABA. Okay, BABA. BABA. That's why sometimes we call Alibaba in internet called Baba. Maybe from this. Okay, let's look at the situation of Alibaba. Now we have the results. This graph is pretty interesting, right? Similarly, this is the open price. This is the close price. This is the open price. Open price is higher than. Close price is higher than open price. So this is a positive bar. Means the stock price of Alibaba is going upward. Well, this one is pretty thin. It means the open price and close price is very, very similar to each other. So it's hard to say upward or downward. However, the open price is very close to its close price. So in this situation, generally, we do not say upward or downward. We say flat. This means flat, right? But we find another interesting phenomenon. This is the high price and this is the low price. Although it is a flat situation in this trading day, however, the level of stock price fluctuations is still fierce, right? Fluctuations. A lot. But the starting points and the end points are almost the same. So these kind of situations, we call them speculations. Lots of speculations, right? Of course, these are other concepts you will learn in security investment in your college courses later if you choose to learn this. So from this, we find a very interesting phenomenon that by using Python command, we can change stock for any stocks. Actually, I must tell you that this Python command supports the stocks worldwide. Not only supports the stock in China, but also in China, Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, US, Germany, France, Italy, and United Kingdom. Let's check it for multi. What do you think about multi? What do you think about the upward or downward of multi stock in these two days? You can type in your imagination in the chat window of Tangxun meeting. Let me know your imagination, your guess first, before we have the real results. Multi. We have said multi stock code is 600519.SS. SS means multi stock is listed in Shanghai Stock Exchange. If a stock listed in Shenzhen Stock Exchange, we will use the suffix as .sj. If it is listed in Hong Kong, we will use .hk. Let's look at the results. Wow! We have two bars here. Are they upward or downward? Type in your answers in the chat window of Tangxun meeting. Okay, we look at the legend first. This is the close price. This is the close price. This is the open price. This is the open price. Well, we find that in this bar, the close price is lower than the open price. So it is a negative bar, right? That means multi-stock price is going down, a downward trend. Similarly, lower price is lower than open price, negative bar, downward trend. Yes, you are right. In these 2 days, multi-price were going down continuously. However, we still find something different. This is called the open-close spread. It is equals to the open price minus close price. We find that this spread is what? Is smaller than this one. We can do a further imagination. We suppose the spread is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and eventually it may be reverting. reverted means here open price is lower than, close price is lower than open price now, but maybe after a few days it may be reverted this way. That means close price may be higher than open price, and the negative bar may be reverted into a positive bar. So these are also very interesting phenomenon. If you are a stock or a security analyst, you need to be aware about this situation. Okay, this is the case practice. Is that easy? Is that interesting? Is that exciting? I think so. What about your ideas? Type in your opinion in the chat window. Now, let's look at knowledge point 3. Knowledge point 3 focus on the analysis of stock prices. Actually, we have done some of stock price analysis previously, but I'll introduce some very useful, very simple analytical methods for stock prices in knowledge point 3. We will also follow the learning cycle, the 3 steps. Repeat again, what are the 3 steps? Type in your answers in the chat window. Yes, you are right. The first step is knowledge points. We usually need to learn knowledge points first. Okay, we are knowing that what we are learning, right? And then case study, and then case practice. You are right. You are absolute right. Perfect. Knowledge point 3, the analysis. In order to learn knowledge point 3, we will use K-lines. We call K-lines in China. We call it candlestick chart in some other countries. So, what K-lines for? K-lines is often used to describe the recent fluctuations of stock prices. It is usually not used for long-term stock price fluctuations. I'll tell you why later. Case study. Let's back to Apple stock. This is a K-line. It draws the stock price movement from July to August. Let's look at this one. These are the volumes, transaction volume. Of course, these are the dates. And these are the stock prices. We find that here, this is a positive bar. These are negative bar, right? This is for 2 months. Well, it's a recent situation. If we use K-lines to draw, say, 2 years, we cannot identify these bars anymore. It will become dots. So that's why we usually say K-lines is not very useful for long-term stock price movements. In long-term stock price movement, we can directly use dot lines or lines. Well, what do you find in this graph? In general, in these 2 months, what is the trend of Apple stock price? Type in your answers in the chat window. Yeah, I can draw a trend line here. Okay, it is a trend line in general, right? I must say this is a beautiful trend lines for stock investors. From perspective of stock investors, Apple stock price in the past 2 months keep going upward. That means Apple stock investors who buy Apple stock in these 2 months, they are earning money. What a happy thing, right? They are earning money. Okay, this is a case study. After that, we can do a case practice. In this case practice, what do you expect? For which stock? Apple stock continuously? No, we have no Apple stock price movement trend, right? Well, we may be interested in Jingdong or Maotai or Okay, some other stocks. For example, the new energy vehicles. Let's do the practice together. We still use Python. Well, we copy this command. No, we will not use this command. We will use a new one because this command is just a demo. We draw a lot of lines like this. In real candlestick or K-line chart, we don't need these lines. We suppose you already have the knowledge of K-lines or candlestick. This time, we will use Jingdong. Same time period from July to August. Then we can change. We can make extensions to other stocks. First, let's look at Jingdong equals to candlestick. Well, this is a new command. JD is the variable. The Python command is candlestick. And the stock code is JD. The starting date is 2022 July the 1st. End date is 2022 August 31st. Actually, we can type to July 2nd. The most recent situation for Jingdong, right? And we wanna draw a trend line as well. Okay, let's look at the results. Now, this is a situation for Jingdong in the recent 2 months. It is pretty interesting, right? It is pretty interesting. Let's draw a trend line for it. Okay, probably here, then here, then here, here, here. That's interesting. We expect computer or Python draw this trend line for us. We will use a moving average measure. In moving average measure, the key parameter is the number of steps to make moving average, right? Okay, let's specify the moving average here. The moving average here is 2. And we also want to see the trading volume. Volume equals true. True. Yeah, let's draw the picture again. Remember how to execute this Python command? Yes, you are right. Press the Shift key plus the Enter key together. Okay. Now this time we can see the trend line. The computer draw the trend line for us, right? Okay. It's hard to say, right? In general, we can say Jingdong stock price from this period is going down in general, then going up, then going down. This is from the big perspective of trend. And these are the trading volume. So in the trading volume, what do you find? We find the trading volume here is the highest. The trading volume here is the highest as well. Well, if you learn security analysis in your college courses, you can try to find out the relationship between stock price changes and the trading volumes relationship. Between the changes of stock price versus trading volume. Trading volume. There are some relationships. Well, you will find out later. Okay, this is the case practice. We have used Jingdong for the case practice. Now we can quickly do a case extension. We can use other stocks. For example, multi. 600519.ss. Multi. Wow. Let's look at the results. Multi is one of the most famous stocks in China, right? Okay, this is the results. What about the trend of multi-stock prices in the recent 2 months? If you have answer, type in your answer in the chat window of Tangxue meeting. Generally speaking, in the recent 2 months, the big trend of multi-stock price is going down, right? However, the steps of going down is smaller and smaller. Probably in the near future, multi-stock price may go up again. We don't know. So you have to predict. This is one of the most important jobs for a security analyst to predict. Oh, well, sometimes we use another word called forecast, right? The stock price movement trend in the near future. If you expect to be a security analyst in the future, this is the case practice extension. Well, if you expect to look at the graph of other stock prices, you can copy the command, just change the stock code, and you will have the answer. Well, we can quickly do another one. Which stock are you interested in? Okay, here is not Jingdong, it's multi, right? Probably I'm interested in Alibaba. Okay. Baba. Okay, just kidding. Alibaba stock code is BABA. Let's look at the stock price performance for Alibaba in the recent 2 months. Well, this is the situation, right? Let's draw the trend lines. The trend lines like this. Well, generally speaking, the stock price movement of Alibaba is, generally speaking, is going down. It's still going down, right? Going down. Well, this is our case practice. Let's have a quick review. What is the second knowledge points? So, what is the knowledge points here? I'm sorry, this is actually the third knowledge point. The third knowledge point about the analysis of stock prices. We use Apple stock as a case study, and then we use Jingdong stock as our case practice, and we use Alibaba stock as our case practice extension. Let's go back to slides. For knowledge point 3, we have 2 extensions. The first extension, I'll introduce a very simple but very useful method in stock price analysis. It is called trend analysis. So the knowledge point here is trend analysis. Trend analysis, what for trend analysis? It is used for long-term stock price movement, while K lines is more useful for short-term, right? Now, both for short-term and long-term, we have analytical methods already. Case study. We still use Apple stock. This time, we use Apple stock price from 2019 to today. This is a trend analysis, long-term trend. Let's look at this trend. Okay, the trend here is, wow, uprising to a point we call ceiling or peak, then going down sharply. Wow, like falling down. Not going down, falling down, right? Then going up slowly. So you may have a question, what happened here? I can tell you the answer right now. I believe if you choose to learn business, you will know that. It is called a stock split. So what is called a stock split? For example, one Apple stock investor previously had 1 share. And this time the stock split is 1 to 4. After the stock split, the investor will have how many shares? The answer is 4 shares. If you are an Apple stock investor, are you happy? Well, If I were, I would like to be very happy. However, your wealth remains the same. Before stock split, Apple stock is about $500. After stock split, Apple stock, okay, here, it's about $120. So are there any relationship between the stock price before stock split and after stock split? Yes, we have series. So usually $500 divided by 4 roughly equals to the stock price after the stock split. Here is 120 something, right? So this is the series. You will learn this series in your financial management course if you choose to learn business. Okay, this is the case study. After the case study, what is the third step in our learning cycle? Type in your answer. Yes, you are right. It's case practice. This time we still use Jingdong to study the long-term stock price trend for Jingdong since 2019. Okay, let's start a new window. Okay, variable Jingdong stock price. This time we are using a new Python command called stock price. The stock code Jingdong is JD, and then starting date 2019 January the 1st, end date 2022 September the 2nd. Let's have the results. Wow, that's pretty interesting. For Jingdong, you wanna say, someone can say something? What about the trend of Jingdong stock price since 2019? Type in your answer in the chat window of Tangxu Meeting. Let me know your idea. First, let's draw a big trend. Okay, starting from 2019, the trend for Jingdong stock is all the time going up to a ceiling point or peak point, roughly here in the first quarter of 2021. Then, generally speaking, going down. So, in this part, we say it's going upward. And in this part, in general, we say going downward. And these points we call the ceiling points, or sometimes we call peak. Well, is that interesting? This is trend analysis. Let me have a question to you. What is the purpose for trend analysis? Why do we do a trend analysis? Yeah, you are right. The trend analysis is specially purposed for understanding the long-term trend of a stock, usually in number of quarters, at least, most commonly in number of years. Well, this is the case practice, right? You want to do a case practice extensions? For example, you want to know the long-term trend of Alibaba. Okay, let's copy the command, and then we can do a quick case practice extension. For example, let's look at the long-term trend for Alibaba. E-A-B-A, Baba. Alibaba, okay? Yeah, this is very interesting, right? Very interesting. Let's draw the trend for Alibaba. Here, up, rising, ceiling points, and then, wow, a very steep downward, right? So this is roughly the fourth quarter of 2020. So the time point of Alibaba going down is earlier than that of Jingdong, right? There must be some reasons. If you want to be a security analyst, you need to find out the reasons behind this phenomenon. So this is called a steep downward. Okay, this is for Alibaba. Want to know the situations of other stock? For example, Maotai. Okay, let's look at Maotai. We copy the command. We just change. Okay, multi. Still remember the stock code for multi 600519.ss. Okay, the exciting movement is coming. So that's why we say exciting, right? Well, when you look at this curve, let me ask you a question. Do you feel exciting? I don't know about you, but I am. Let's draw the trend lines this way. Wow, wow. So when was the sitting points for multi? Well, it's roughly here, right? Roughly here, the first quarter of 2021. First quarter of 2021 is more than 2,500. This is 2,500, right? And after the ceiling points, generally speaking, multi is going down. Maybe up in the future, I don't know. You can bet on this. But before bet, we usually need to do a scientific analysis like this, right? In order to forecast, we also have a lot of methods. The most recent technological development is to use machine learning. Machine learning. Machine learning now are widely used in security analysis. Pretty interesting. Well, machine learning also uses Python, so that's why I say Python is a very popular, very powerful tool in security investment analysis, right? Okay. This is for multi. I believe that if you buy multi stock here, January 2019, you will be very happy. Here, if you can sell multi-stock price in time. Here, multi-stock price is about 600 kwai. Here, about more than 2,500 kwai. So how many do you earn? 2,500 divided by 600. Wow. 4 times, right? 4 times earning. That's pretty good. That means if you invest say 10,000 kwai. Then after 2019, 2020, after 2 years, your 10,000 kwai will become 40,000 kwai. You get rich, right? You get rich. However, if you buy stock, multi-stock here, what about your feeling here? You want to cry, right? You want to cry. Okay, that's why it is very important for security investment analysis. You want to do security investment, you want to buy stock, you need a scientific analysis. This is a real case study, a real case practice, a real case practice extension. Well, if you want to try other stocks, you can use the same command by yourself, right? One simple command like this tell you many things, right? Very useful measure. So what is the measure we are learning now? Type in your answer in the chat window. Yeah, you're right. We are learning a very simple but very useful measure. It's called trend analysis. Trend analysis. Very simple. This is the extension 1 of knowledge point 3. We have another extension for knowledge point 3. We call them another very popular, very simple, very comprehensive, and also very, very useful analytical methods. It's called comparative analysis. Let me show you. The second extension for knowledge point 3, comparative analysis. First step, comparative analysis. What's the purpose of comparative analysis? Well, the purpose of comparative analysis is to find out the differences between stocks. Find out the differences. This is the knowledge point. What is the next step? case study. Well, I like Apple stock. This time we use Apple stock and Microstock to do a comparison. So we use Apple to compare with Microsoft since 2021. Well, this is the results, the case study. Legend. The blue solid line is Apple, so this is Apple, right? And the orange dot line is Microsoft. We are using a comparative measurement to do the comparison. So this time we are using close price. So this is called the comparative measurement. Sometimes we call an indicator. So from this picture, what can you find out? There are a couple of useful points in this picture. First one, second one. First one, what can you find out? In terms of stock prices, which one is higher? Type in your answer in the chat window. Which one is higher? Of course, this one is higher. It means Microsoft, the stock price is higher. Yeah, higher. Which one is higher? Second question. Are these two curves similar to each other? From big trend. Yeah, you are right. They are similar to each other, but only from big trend. Because if we look into the details, for example, here, they are not very similar to each other. If we look at the details, they are still different. Right? Of course, we can find the third point and fourth point, more points. You will learn that in security investment course in your college time. Up to now, we have learned the knowledge points, we have learned the case study. What is the third step? Type in your answers. Yeah, case practice. Well, this time for the case practice, we will use Jingdong compare with Pinduoduo. Pinduoduo, wow. I like Jingdong stock. I like Jingdong websites. I like Jingdong e-commerce platform. I also like Pinduoduo as well. If I want to buy something with high quality, more expensive things, I like to buy Jingdong. However, if I want to buy something, well, probably quality is not that important, it's very cheap, usually lower than 30 kuai, I like to buy in Pinduoduo because, well, it's really cheap, right? Well, sometimes cheap is a key. It's the hard rule. Since 2021, of course, we still use Python. I like Python, right? Because we can use Python to do many things in a very easy way. Okay, we will compare Jingdong with Pinduoduo. So this is our variable. This time I will introduce a new Python command to describe comparative analysis. It's called compare stock. In order to compare, we have to tell the Python command the stock codes of two stocks. First stock, Jingdong. You have known the stock code of Jingdong. But what is the stock code for Pinduoduo? Yeah, you are right. It's PDD. Okay, that's pretty interesting. And third, we want to tell Python command the measurements for comparison. It is close price. Of course, we can use other comparative measurements. This command supports about 20-something comparative indicators. It's very powerful tools. Very powerful Python, right? Let's start from 2021, January the 1st to today. For example, 2022, September the 2nd. Let's look at the results. Press the Shift key plus the Enter key. We will have the results. Here we see a star symbol here. The star symbol here means this command is now being executed by Python. When the star symbol disappears, the completion. The execution completed. Now let's find out something interesting in this picture. First, we quickly find out the points here. This point is very interesting points, right? Before these points and after these points, situations are different. Let's look at the legend first. The blue storylines is Jingdong. So this is Jingdong, right? And the orange dot line is Pinduoduo. Pinduoduo, Pinduoduo. So before these points, we call these points is a critical point. A critical point means before and after these points, situation changed. Before these points, first point we can find out, Pinduoduo stock price is higher than that of Jingdong, right? After these points, Jingdong price is higher than that of Pinduoduo. But recently, their stock price are going similar to each other, quite closer to each other, right? So after these points, maybe this one is another critical point, we don't know, because I find out that after these points, Pinduoduo stock price is higher than that of Jingdong again. Okay, so this is the first point. We can quickly observe. What is the second point? During this period, let me draw the trend lines. This is for Pinduoduo. And what about for Jingdong? Jingdong is this, right? So you can find out the second point, both downward trend, right? What is the third point? Although both are downward, Pinduoduo's downward trend is more steep than that of Jingdong. That means if you buy Pinduoduo stock price here and another one buy Jingdong stock here, and you are losing money at a faster pace. You are losing money more quickly, right? You wanna cry? Yes. So you have to bet Pinduoduo stock price please go up again. Well, we can see that here is about 190 US dollars, and here is about 70 US dollars. Even it's going up, I guess it may take a very long time to go back to these lines, right? It may take very long time because the growth of Pinduoduo is almost there. It's getting slower and slower. Nowadays, the cost of acquiring a new customer is getting higher and higher. Okay, this is a very interesting case practice, right? And you can practice yourself. For example, you can compare Maotai with Wuliangye. You can compare probably Oppo with Xiaomi. You can compare Lenovo with Xiaomi. Can you compare with Huawei? No, because Huawei is not listed. There's no stock for Huawei to trade in public market, so it's hard for you to compare, right? Okay. Let's do a quick summary, an overview. Our topic today is what matters most in business learning. We have two answers. Our very first answer is case study, because case study is very important in business learning. Case study can help us understand further for the knowledge points we have just learned. In order to learn knowledge points in a better way, I introduce a very efficient learning way. There are 3 steps in this learning way. We call learning cycle. First step, what is the first step? Knowledge points. Second step, case study. Third step, practice. Then I believe we will have a better memory. Here. It's very good. Do we have any questions? Okay, I sincerely wish you starting your business career from BFSU. Wish you all good luck. Thank you very much. That's all for today.